Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Stupendous Wave, and in this video, Anthony and I will be discussing who is Kylo Ren's master in Star Wars Episode 7, or if he even has a master to begin with. So, to start off, I'm just going to share what I think. I think that Kylo Ren does indeed have a master, and I think that this master is actually who we see in front of the First Order, which is now basically the new Empire. We see that he's standing on a podium on a balcony surrounded by other hooded figures and then other regular stormtroopers. So I definitely think that this is Kylo Ren's master. I think that the Empire still belongs to the Sith, and that Kylo Ren is kind of taking on a Darth Vader role. He's more of an Inquisitor. He's meant to hunt down Jedi and the other parts of the Rebellion, or what's now being called the Resistance, and just eradicate them for the First Order that has now been established. So yeah, in my opinion, I think he does have a master, and I do think that it's the head guy in charge. This guy is definitely going to be taking on a Vader role. That's kind of what I think. And that he'll just be kind of like the guy that goes out and deals with problems, as the new Emperor, who I'm still saying is a Sith, I still think it belongs to the Sith, is kind of behind the scenes playing the Palpatine role still a little bit. So, Anthony, what do you think?
I think that Kylo Ren is going to be a very different antagonist in this new Star Wars saga that they're making right now, and I think he's going to be more on his own. I don't think he really has a master. I think he's more of like a lone wolf when it comes to this story. I think he does have some part in the First Order, because there's a lot of scenes in the trailers where you see him and he's like next to the stormtroopers, but I don't think that he's super high in command. I really think that he's not even a Sith, actually. I think that he's kind of fascinated with what the Sith used to be, and I think because of that, he kind of trains himself to become like a Sith. But I don't think he had any formal training, and I think that he's just kind of he's going to be a fresh take on an antagonist, because from what we've seen, it's always been like, in Star Wars, there's the lead guy of the Sith, there's the Emperor. He's always got his other Sith that are just under his chain of command, that he goes and sends out to either kill specific Jedi or something. I think that with this, they're trying to get away from that, and I think that it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, definitely, and I like that you point out that he does indeed have a role in the First Order, because we actually see him with some stormtroopers, and he definitely seems to be pursuing something or preventing something from happening. We're not exactly sure what. We just see him use the Force. He force pushes something, so that's really interesting. Again, you brought up the point that he's a Sith sympathizer. Maybe he was an old Inquisitor, and now maybe the Inquisitors don't even exist anymore. And for those of you that don't know, Inquisitors were, in the old Empire, the Force-sensitive people that their main job was to hunt down other Jedi, because the best way to kill a Jedi is with the lightsaber and with the Force. And that's exactly what the purpose of Inquisitors were. Now, they're not full-on Siths yet, but they're still Force-sensitive people. And so what I think could happen is that maybe Kylo Ren was a very, very young Inquisitor, and then has now been kind of mentored by this new big Sith, and you just think that he's kind of an Inquisitor that's evolved and kind of taught himself after the Empire, correct?
Also, and another reason I think that might be the case is because the way they're advertising this movie is The Force Awakens. That's the title, and I think when they say The Force Awakens, I think it's an awakening in the kind of in the Sith part of the Force, and if it's supposed to be an awakening, I don't think that there would have been a Sith master who's been around for a while training this guy. I feel like he's kind of been doing it himself, and now he's gonna awaken the Force. So I feel like that's kind of what they're going to.
Well, the way I kind of view it as like the Force Awakens is like it awakens in everyone, good and bad. It's not just the dark side, because we do know that
Yeah.
Finn is supposed to be Force sensitive. So I definitely think that it's going to awaken on both sides of the Force. But yeah, it's
I,
very, very interesting. We do know
I'd
that
understand that. I was thinking it's going to be more like an event with the Sith or whatever you'd consider him,
yeah, but
and
we
then that would bring
definitely,
apart. That would bring the awakening.
yeah, something could happen similar to that. But we do know clearly he has some form of training in the Force.
Yes.
Um, Is he the only dark side user in the galaxy? I don't think so. I just can't see that.
Yeah, probably not. But I think that they're playing him as the here's the new big threat. Like maybe there's some dark side Force users out throughout the galaxy, but maybe they're not very powerful. Maybe they're not
Active.
very active or dangerous. And then he shows up and he becomes the big threat. I think he's going to be very unique as in terms of an antagonist.
Yeah, and as far as the new Emperor goes, I definitely think that, in my opinion, he's a Force user. I definitely think of some extent. What do you think about that?
If there is a new emperor, then I would imagine that he is a Force user.
Yeah, because I just don't see after the Sith have basically ruled the galaxy for a long period of time, I don't see it going back to just the non-Force users. I see it still being in the hands of Sith, because here's the thing: since the expanded universe has been, it's been non-canon or uncanon, however you want to say that, we don't know what other Sith were out there. We know from the Rebels TV show that is canon that there are in fact many Inquisitors, and it's kind of insane to think that all the Inquisitors died. So I definitely think that there is, to some extent, other Force users in the galaxy after the events of Jedi. We just don't know exactly how powerful they are, because Vader and the Emperor far outmatched any of the Inquisitors, and the Inquisitors aren't really Sith or Jedi, and we know that the Sith and the Jedi are really the two big factions that there are for Force users. So these guys are kind of in the middle. They're not really either. They're more towards the dark side users just because that's who they were employed by, in kind of a sense, but they're not Sith. So it's interesting. I don't think Kylo Ren's a full-fledged Sith yet. I think he could be by the time the trilogy is over. We've never really seen how one fully becomes a Sith. We saw Anakin's kind of transformation, but that was really drastic. I kind of want to see the start of Kylo Ren. Maybe, yeah, he has a lightsaber and he uses the Force in some ways, but by the end I just want him to be possibly even the new Emperor, take over from someone. I think that would be really cool.
That would be interesting to see that.
Just the progression of the character.
And I'd like to see a Star Wars villain go through multiple stages, because in the original trilogy that's what you got. They never killed Vader until the last movie, but when it came to the prequels, it was like, oh, there's Darth Maul, he's dead in that movie. There's Grievous, oh well, he lives in the end of it, but they kill him in the beginning of the next one.
Oh, you mean
or
Dooku?
Not Dooku. I'm sorry. And then they killed Grievous in the third one. They kill
Dooku in the third one.
Yeah. Well, they kill Grievous in the third one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know what you mean.
Yeah, I would like it if they did the longer form of storytelling and really develop the villain, because I think villains are always so much more interesting when you give them that screen time that they really need. And I'd love to see him start out as just like a dark side user, but then grow into a Sith. I think that would be very great.
Yeah, and that's something about Kylo Ren that's cool. I mean, he starts off in the first trailer, and he's in a completely different environment than he is in the second one, that's already a leg up on Darth Maul, because Darth Maul had one, and he's an awesome character. Darth Maul just severely underused and misused, in my opinion. Darth Maul should have been the Darth Vader of the prequels, but I definitely think that this should be, and when I say Darth Vader, I just mean the frontal antagonist. and
Yeah.
then still have the Emperor in the backgrounds. But that's definitely how they could play this out with Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
So, anything final to add?
The last thing I have to add is the Darth Vader of the prequels wasn't very good.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more Star Wars Episode 7 discussions and news, and have a great day.